Hello everyone and welcome to Galaxy 89 Cars. Now after reading the title of this video, I'm sure you know that this is my end of 2019 Q&A video with some kind of highlights thrown in as well. I'm actually inside a Cayman GT4 at present, a 718, because I'm testing it and the videos will be coming out actually both after this. It's going to be a driving video and also a standard in-depth video. A couple of weeks ago I asked all of you on Instagram, Facebook and YouTube if you had any questions you wanted answered, and so we're going to be going through those today. I didn't get a huge amount, so it's probably going to be quite a short video and some overlap as well. But anyway, we're going to start with the questions I got on YouTube. So the first one, before I go into the questions actually, quite a few people just gave me sort of general compliments or support. I really want to say thank you to you guys. It really does mean a lot. So the first one, Helmi Setibuddy, sorry if I've massacred your name. From all of the cars you have reviewed in this year, what car you mostly love and mostly hate? Well, the car I'm currently sitting in is one I definitely love, the 718 GT4. As you may or may not know, I'm a massive Porsche fanboy. I had a Boxster, only a 986, but still, and I've wanted to try out the 718 or the GT4 line for quite a while, and this car is really living up to all of the hype. It's an astonishing car. So this, obviously the Jesko was very impressive. What else? The Rapide AMR was quite a cool car to film as well. I quite enjoyed that. Just sort of looking through. The Bugatti Divo is also really nice to film. The 992. What else? And just going through everything. And yeah, actually going into the 288 GTO was amazing as well. I haven't hated any cars this year. I may be a little bit disappointed with a few cars. Any cars well, pretty much all cars now have to have particulate filters, which basically help to filter out harmful sort of things in the emissions, which is a very, very good thing, and I'm all for that. But it kind of mutes the sound a bit, and that can be a bit disappointing, I suppose. But other than that, I haven't hated anything. I think maybe the AC Schnitzer upgrade of the BMW M140i is crazy expensive. It's like £14,000. Yeah, so I'm not disappointed, I don't hate it, but it's definitely something I was surprised about. So, what's the most expensive or rarest car you have filmed? The Jesko, I think there's 125 of those, so it's probably not. 1-to-1, obviously 7 of those in the world. That's pretty rare. I'm not sure if I've filmed any rarer cars than that. I think even stuff like the F40, F50, 288 GT, I still think there are maybe almost certainly over 100 of each of those. So probably Koenigsegg Agera RS, Koenigsegg 1-to-1, probably something like that. Have you thought of driving the cars you review? Now, most of the time, I can't drive the cars I'm filming because, let's just say I'm filming a 288 GTO, for example. No one's going to give me the keys to a £2 million car. They're just not. It's all about risk. It's about balancing risk. When I go into a dealership and I film something, dealers or brands or manufacturers want to ensure that their car is going to be safe. And there's the lowest risk possible for the greatest return. So that's kind of why I've sort of developed these in-depth videos. So, you know, I'm able to go in, show you everything in the car, spend some time with it myself, and there's very little prospect of any damage or anything happening to the car whatsoever for the brand and manufacturer, etc., for the dealer. So that's a massive reason why. Another reason is that obviously the car market is saturated with people doing car reviews, driven reviews and everything. That's what everyone's doing. Not very many people really doing in-depth tours like I'm doing. That's kind of the way I want to do it. That's kind of what I'm known for and what brands are happiest me working for, because everything is obviously a business proposition when you're sort of working with a company. So it's if they're going to give me a car, once again, it's all about return on investment. This is all on their side. It's what they look at. So if they're going to give someone a car and there are 200 people asking for the car, obviously they can't give all 200 people the car. They need to only give 10 people the car. And then there's traditional press like Auto Express, Autocar, Evo in the UK that are going to take priority for sure. And then it's all going to be the independent YouTubers. And there's obviously going to be people at the top and people at the bottom. So there are brands I've created a good rapport with that I can work with, but essentially it's all limiting risk and getting a return on investment for companies. And to get the best return on investment for me, like I said, is letting me film an in-depth video. Fortunately with Porsche, they're letting me film this GT4, which is absolutely amazing. I really, really appreciate giving me this opportunity. It's a stunning car, it's incredible. But yeah, it's that's why. Of course I want to film more, but I think as I get bigger, as I get more subscribers, I'll probably be able to film more. But until then, I'll just take what I can get, and I'll keep focusing on doing the in-depth stuff. How did you start your career on YouTube? I am a full-time YouTuber, believe it or not, even though my numbers aren't crazy big. I mean, for 2019, I got 3,500 views, 3.5 million views this year, and close to 8,000 to 10,000 subscribers. So yeah, this is my full-time job. I'm not a millionaire from it, obviously, but it's enough to live on, and I love doing it. It's freedom. It's a lot of fun, and I really enjoy it. I'm passionate about cars. This is great. But obviously it started off just as a hobby. So some of you may or may not know, but I have a master's degree in psychiatry, and I used to work in several different hospitals doing different things. Basically doing, I'm a researcher in psychiatry, so I've focused in academics. And then this started off as kind of like a hobby. And for quite a while, nothing happened to my channel because I was doing what everyone else was doing, sort of the spotting in London type stuff. But then I gradually started focusing on other things and trying to sort of figure out what else there is in the market, what videos aren't being made. And so I sort of did this. And, you know, the job that I had, and I've always loved studying, I've always liked information, which is probably why my videos are quite like they are. So yeah, it started off as a hobby, it grew, and I'm at the point now where I can pretty much just about live on it. So, and it's taken about 3 years to get from that point to this point. So it's been a long old slog, hasn't been quick at all. So that's all from there. Let me find this. Okay, so going on to Instagram. 2 people said hi, Kane Rodriguez and Alex Twinkie. Hello, back to you. Evie Hire, one of my good friends and people I've made lots of videos with, they said, when Cybertruck? Now, some of you may or may not know, I actually ordered a Cybertruck. I think many people did, you know, the £100 down, etc., etc. It's actually not about that for me. I think it's actually a very innovative design. And I do want an electric car as sort of a daily car. But this is where it comes down to the reality of the situation is, I don't think that car is actually going to be that usable in the UK based on present stats, present dimensions and weight. So the only way I'm going to get that car, get Cybertruck when it comes out, probably 23, 24, maybe 25 if they delay it, is if they adjust the measurements. Now, Elon Musk on Twitter replied to someone, or replied to some feedback he was getting, and he was saying that he could reduce the length by 6mm and he could reduce the width as well. And if he reduces the weight, then that would be very, very good, because I think it would be more usable in that case. I think it's a very cool design. It's a disruptive, potentially disruptive product. It would just be really, really interesting. And it might be a bit more interesting than a Model 3, something like that. Although I would quite like a Model 3. Biggest disappointment in the cars you looked at or driven this year? So that's kind of one I've already answered. Plans and goals for 2020. And this is actually by someone called Hampshire Photography, who you may have heard of. I just want to keep growing, obviously. Want to improve the production quality, the editing quality, everything in my in-depth tours. It has to be the staple of my channel, so that's going to be a priority. I'd like to drive more cars and sort of improve my delivery and my technique of delivering driven videos. That would be good. And also, potentially, at the end of the year, I'm going to be getting a new car. It's either going to be from a German manufacturer or an English manufacturer, and it's a two-seat sports car. So I'm going to leave it as that. And what's your opinion on electric cars and hydrogen fuel cell cars? And that's just Jonas 2609. I'm all in favour for sustainable solutions to things, especially in transport. We all kind of need to travel around. It's become a normal thing in life, so we kind of need to do it. On that note, So yeah, I'm in all favour, but it's just the infrastructure. There's obviously a greater infrastructure for electric cars because that's the way it's been going with the push from Tesla, and then them kind of showing that other manufacturers, well, them showing other manufacturers that electric cars can be a viable alternative with range and everything, charging times. So electric cars have kind of gone ahead of hydrogen fuel cells. Hydrogen fuel cells could potentially offer an even better solution, but because electric cars have sort of had a stronger push, there's even less infrastructure for hydrogen fuel cell cars. I'm for them. There needs to be a massive increase in infrastructure. Yeah, I mean, like I just said, I've ordered a Tesla Cybertruck, and I'd be happy to run a Model 3 as well. Hopefully the supercharger network and other fast chargers are going to increase very quickly. So, you know, because I don't know if you all saw, but there was a massive queue at Thanksgiving in America somewhere. Huge queue for the supercharger. It was taking ages, and that's sort of, it's bizarre. But that's what happens when you're able to push out more cars and you can actually increase the infrastructure of the network. Someone else asked me a question, actually DM'd me this question. There we go. They said two things. Why is your voice so nice? Thank you very much if you think that's the case. I don't know. Nature and nurture, I suppose. What is your achievable dream car? Achievable. Well, it's one of the things I'm talking about, but ideally, this is my achievable dream car. I think that maybe not brand new, maybe second-hand in a couple of years, I could probably have one of these. And I think it would be an amazing addition to the channel. So that's all for the question. Now I want to go over 3 or 4 highlights from 2019. So one of them is obviously going to be filming the Koenigsegg Jesko. I have to say a massive thank you to Super Futura for letting me film that. I haven't filmed with them anywhere near as much as I'd like to, as much as I used to or like to. But being able to film that pretty much before anyone else in depth was incredible. And in 5 months, it's got 875,000 views, which is really, really good. So huge thank you to them for that. And it's just an awesome car. If you ever get a chance to get close to it, I really, really recommend you do it. It's the design, the tech, everything about it is incredible. And I saw it in a sort of unfinished state as well. The next thing is when Lexus Guildford gave me a UX 250 hybrid to go all the way to Snowdonia in. They're absolutely amazing for doing that. Yeah, I mean, I've worked with them quite a lot, and I've actually generated quite a lot of content. We have done it together, I should say. But even so, you don't really expect a manufacturer to be like, yeah, we'll give you the car and you can go all the way up to like Wales, like a 500-mile round trip. So that was incredible, and it was just a really, really good car for the occasion. It fit the setting, it fit the purpose really well, and it just enhanced the experience, in all honesty. So massive thank you to them for that. And actually showed me that the UX is a really cool car, and it's a really good alternative to some of the sort of maybe more common German alternatives. The next thing is when I partnered with Ferrari UK at the 2019 Good Festival of Speed. I've actually been on at them for last 2 years, like trying to not get runs up the hill time, but trying to partner with them, trying to work with them in some way. So obviously I've done Porsche, I'm in a Porsche, Lamborghini, Aston Martin, but Ferrari and McLaren are the only ones that have eluded me so far. So to actually, at the biggest motorsport event in Europe, probably, maybe in the world, for them to say, yeah, you can, we'll give you a passenger wristband and you can go up the hill climb with a professional driver, like on the main day of the hill climb of the event, was incredible. The Portofino isn't a car I'm personally interested in, but it serves a purpose for sure. And the hill climb experience was incredible. If you haven't seen the full video, make sure you do, because I get to have a look at a lot of interesting Ferraris in quite a lot of detail, so it's definitely worth it. And the last thing, which basically the entire reason I waited until today to make this video, because I've had these questions for a week, 2 weeks, was because I wanted to try the GT4. They always say never try or never meet your heroes, and this is definitely something that was a key thing for me. And yeah, I just think it's absolutely incredible, to be honest. It's very small and compact in here. You don't think it when you first look at it. It's very, very small and compact. But it's an incredible package. The clutch isn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. It's actually relatively easy to drive. Although I think over a long period of time, so if you're driving a few hundred miles, then your left leg might get a little bit tired. Other than that, I love the fit and finish. The design is, like, build quality, everything is amazing. So yeah, they are my 4 highlights. As you may be able to see, behind me, my background has changed. I've gone from some little gates and some fields to some bricks. I actually got asked to move the car. I got right to the end of the video and I got asked to move. Anyway, once again, thank you for your questions and your positive comments and everything, and thank you for your constructive criticism. It all helps me grow. I really appreciate it. I hope you've all had a great 2019, just as I have, and I hope we can all go into 2020 and feel motivated and enthusiastic, and we can just do our best and achieve everything we want to, or at least get a bit further along to achieving our goals. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and please subscribe for the latest content.